Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. I'm trying to get people. Was it easy to get on? Was it easy to get on?
Yeah, I just clicked the link at the email.
Oh, good. Cool. I'm double checking something. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. All right, I have to test something. Hold on. Hello. Hello. There you go. Okay. Okay. Ah. Michael, is your okay? Your girlfriend is the Carson Newman, right?
She goes to Murray State.
Okay, so she's home. Is she local?
No, she's from she lives in Kentucky.
Oh
So
no.
yes, so they are currently she's in Liberty right now. So
Ah.
she's forced away doing homework at her house. So
Oh, that sucks. I was hoping it would like be beneficial for you.
yeah, well, it is.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. That sucks. It's Anne. Maybe. Abigail, how are things for you?
They're going well. I've just been at home like the whole time.
Yeah, good for you. Way to be a good person.
Salut.
Salut! Comment ça va? Ah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I have a terrible lag. Deal.
Yeah, it says your bandwidth is low.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can. I know why. I'm in my husband's office.
Mm.
I'm about to fix it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, better? Nice. Oh.
bullying is never okay, even online.
Yeah, that's the worst
Ooh, my bad. It was the wrong chat. Sorry. See.
That makes it worse.
All right, I know Holly was coming.
Well, she's late, so we should
Yeah, she is.
ban her.
Yeah, and we only have 40 minutes. I didn't know that until I
Yeah.
was starting up, so that sucks. Okay, so I guess just here comes Holly. Hooray!
Oh,
Hola.
Maybe. Okay. Can we just do like just a 30-second take on everything on this craziness? I think
Yeah,
that'd
let's
be
do
good.
it.
All right, let's start. Abigail, start in English, of course.
I want to be back at school, and I'm sad that everything's canceled. And I hope that it goes away soon.
Yep. Same here. Good. Michael?
You know, I like to be home. It's sad that I don't get to see anybody anymore at that class. And I'm sad that like the sickness is going around. But somehow I have less to do. So like I'm not mad, but I'm also like, yeah. like it's good but bad. So like I'm enjoying the benefits, but I don't like all the drawbacks.
Yep. That's really kind of where I am
Yes.
as well. All right, Anne.
Um, I home, but when I'm home, I have like a really lazy routine. So everything's frozen. Everyone's frozen. Oh no. Oh, there it is.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But it's just trying to balance not being lazy at home anymore with school. Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of weird.
That 2 week spring break was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Good.
nice.
Well, good. And where are you then?
I'm like 15 minutes away of Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And Oli, give us your take.
Well, I've been stuck in the house because they made me quarantine. So I'm just ready to get out of the house.
Yeah.
But, school sucks. It's online and it's terrible.
Yeah. It truly is. Yeah, if we wanted to do stuff online, we would have done like online classes, but here we are.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
how I
Yeah. All right. I already gave my thoughts. I have not heard anything from Dalton, so we're just going to proceed. So we're going to start. Here's what because of that time constraint that I didn't know was happening, I think I'll just post your homework and then you can check it, have your questions ready every time we meet, maybe
Mhm.
something like that. So then I'll figure that out. There's no reason to do that right now, but I'll post the answers. We'll talk about it. So we'll just get into it since we have limited time. So we're in chapter 13. This is the start of the subjunctive, and there's 3 chapters on it because that's how important it is, unfortunately. Who's had experience with the subjunctive? Michael has.
Yes, we did
Yes.
do this.
Good. And then Holly, you took Latin, right?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember the term subjunctive at all?
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't know Latin's protocol for that. And then Abigail, have you had that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I think you would know because it's like it's kind of intense, honestly. So can't wait to do all this online, huh? Okay. So actually, the more I thought about it and the time constraints, we're actually going to start on page 140. So the second page that starts with a present subjunctive of regular verbs. The reason being is that first page is all about why we use it, when we use it, and all that. And I'm going to make my own lecture about it, but I figured it was better to make a lecture so you could listen to it and listen to it again if you need to. But I think one thing to take away from page 139 is that it does say the subjunctive occurs much more frequently in French than it does in English. And that's why it's a big deal, is because almost everything we can line up like, oh, English does this, French does this, but this is really the thing that separates French from English. So on page 40, we're just going to focus for today on how to form it. So the base in the past for past in subjunctive is different from everything, but when we were trying to learn how to form things, the base will be like the infinitive without the ending, the new form, right? Those are all in the past. Now the base is the third person plural form. So that's the ELL with an S form. So that's not too big of a deal for ER verbs or IR verbs. But if you look on page 140, you've got that little chart, and I want you to look in the middle for the IR verbs. So remember, way back to present tense, that whole plural side was ISS ONS, ISSEZ, ISSENT. So that's why for finir, finis, fini, FINISS is the base for all of those. So that one takes the most getting used to. And you can see all the way down. Je finis, tu finis, il elle finis, vous finissions, vous finissiez, il elle finisse. And now the endings. The endings are ESE, which that's regular ER verb endings, no big deal. And then on the plural side, you've got IONS, IEZ, which you're like, okay, that's the imperfect endings. But then it goes back to just regular ENT, not AIENT or anything like that. So if you remember the boot from present tense, it forms a boot again with the endings. It has regular ER verb endings on the singular side and the third person plural. So EESE, ENT, all the same. Take a look at the ER, the parler, and the RE vendre. Anyone have an observation about the ER, what that looks like, how that looks funny? Yeah, I mean, there's not much because it is just regular. Everything is the same except for that IONS, IEZ. And that's still normal. It's just a different, it's present, 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 imperfect, imperfect, present. So no big deal. The RE verbs, though, they look pretty funny, don't they? Yeah, like vond, you're used to, remember you're used to, in the present tense, SS nothing, and now it's EESE, so looks a little weird. So one thing you're going to see is you're going to see that for a while, these will be introduced by a phrase. So it says in the notes, this applies to most verbs that have irregular forms in the present indicative. Most verbs, though. We're going to get to something else in a minute. But these examples on 140 start with il faut que, je dis que, il est possible que, and that's how everything starts. And that's all in the present tense. So that's a thing. You're going to have those. Don't worry about that. You deal with everything after the que. And it says, not that we haven't already said this, but nu and vu of the present subjunctive are identical to nu and vu in the imperfect. So you're going to do A. A has a good smattering of IR, RE, and ER verbs. And everything, you're just going to conjugate it, but everything's going to start with il faut que. And we actually have falloir back in chapter 16. So it is, everything we're saying is, it is necessary that this, that someone does something. Okay, I need to check the time. Okay, we're okay. So you're going to do A, and everything starts with il faut que, and then you conjugate. Are there any questions on A?
Nope.
Nope. Did anyone have any trouble doing if you started doing the typing form, did anyone have any trouble with the accents? No? Okay, good. Good. Oh, and for Friday, does anyone have any trouble submitting it to Canvas? Or, yeah, submitting it to an assignment in Canvas? Okay.
The homework?
Yeah,
Oh no, that's
good. Okay, good. All right. So 141, it can never be easy. They just usually they give you like 3 exercises and all this and make you think your life's good when it's not. They just jump right into it. And there's 3 chapters. So like that's intense. So some verbs, like usually it's like here's the present tense or here's regular, here's irregular. But this time it's like, oh hey, here's verbs with 2 stems. So these these are generally spelling change verbs and irregular verbs, but irregulars coming up on Friday. So these aren't even like an irregular in the subjunctive is like, hey, this has a new base. That's not the third person plural. So some of these verbs have all of these verbs on 141 have 2 stems. And the first one is the one that we already know, the third person plural. That occurs in the boot, the singular and third person plural. Je, tu, il, elle, on, il, elle. And then in the nu and vous form, because they're always the troublemakers, it's going to be the new form as well, which goes back to what they were saying about how the nu and vous will look exactly the same as the imperfect. So that doesn't change either. So the first one they give you is boire, and boire is super irregular. And in the present tense, the third person, je bois, tu bois, il, elle, on boit, nous buvons, vous buvez, il, elle boivent. That B-O-I-V-E is, well, B-O-I-V is now the base for the boot. So, and you can see it on there, je boive, tu boives, il, elle, on boive. Other side, il, elle boive. But then it goes back to the nous buvons, and then it has the ending. So, of course, it's nous buvions, vous buviez. And that's how that goes all the way down. So it gives you 3 examples. There's boire, there's venir. Venir has that weird vien in the third person plural. But then it's normal in the nous venons. Then it gives you an example. Recevoir. They gave 3 really good examples because those are 3 pretty irregular verbs. And then they didn't want to do that. That would have taken up several pages. So they gave you some less crazy ones down there. And like I said, a lot of those are spelling change or irregular. I do want to point out, look down there, mourir. Mourir. So, and it's listed alphabetically, so it's halfway down, to die. You've never even seen that in the present tense, right? Because you're always using it in the past tense. I died, he died, whatever. But now you have to actually know it in the present tense to get that base, because you could say something like, it is necessary that he die to save us all. And so that's, just so you know, that's what it looks like. So mourir is probably not one that you've seen at all. Do you have any questions on any of those verbs on that list on 141?
No.
Yeah, just gotta go over them. All right, cool. Michael, you're like the Zoom expert. Have y'all done Zoom meetings for all your classes?
No.
Not all, but
Just one.
a lot.
Really?
I've had like 3 or 4 meetings so far. So
Okay. Are they doing them on like regular, it would be class time basis?
yeah,
Okay.
mine are.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is pretty normal then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we had this document, and then where we were supposed to talk about it as a faculty, and like you can't even access it. So whatever. So that's helpful. I know. Oh, one more thing before we move on. On page 141, look down. You'll know. I mean, you should. I know you pick up on this anyway, but like all the spelling change verbs, like especially the e accent aigu or just e consonant e, you know, they'll do like this, and then they have to do like that in the new and the vous form. Like notice those, like répète. Oh yeah, yeah. This in the boot, this in the boot, this in the new and the vous form. You have some of those préféré, répéter. You also have the sneaky ones like mener. And it's not an exhaustive list. There are other verbs like them, like mener and all that. So be aware of that. Okay, so you're gonna practice that with exercice B. Exercise B. So notice that all those start with, like I said, il faut que, il est nécessaire que, il est important que, all the way down. So we'll talk about what that means at a later time. But B next, and then, oh no, I lost you. There we go. Just had to check the time. Okay, so these impersonal, these expressions, we start actually getting into what those are on 143. And I kind of like, I like the way that they broke this up, because you're not going, like, you just need to get used to it first, and then you might start to notice a pattern, like, okay, these, they all say il blank que. A lot of times it's il est blank que. So here are a bunch of expressions, and here's the short of it, that I'll cover later on page 139. But on 143, the subjunctive is used after impersonal expressions. So the il there is always it, not he, not mankind. It's just it. Of doubt, emotion, or opinion. Now, this is more thinking than you've ever had to do about probably anything that you've said. Like, you've said stuff like this. Maybe not in this structure, but the French will just, okay, look at these. Like, il est génial. It is nice. It's nice that if we're going to be out, at least it's been warmer, or something like that, right? Like, you've probably said something like that. Well, the French would just throw subjunctive in there, whereas we wouldn't. So that's the beginning of this whole subjunctive mess. I mean, this whole subjunctive process. So looking at that list on 143, let's go through everyone. Just give one of those. Take a second to look at it and give me one of those that is interesting to you, like that you kind of pops out at you.
One that I use all the time, and I notice it, is il est temps.
Mm-hmm.
It is time.
Yeah, it's time that we go. It's time that, yeah. But how else would, give us some examples in English of how you'd say it?
Oh, like if I'm looking at the clock because I have a scheduled class, I'll be like, oh, it's time to go to my class now, or like,
Yeah, exactly.
go do something.
Good. Awesome. Get someone else.
I would say like il est dommage. Like it's a pity.
Yes.
Pity.
Yes. It's too bad that we're all doing this all. Yeah, give us a sentence.
It's such a pity that I had to go an extra week of spring break.
Right. Right.
Woe is me.
Yes. Good. Yeah, that's a good one.
One that I use a lot is it is possible.
Yeah.
Like, this one, but it's possible.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Give us a sentence in English.
It's possible that he's right.
Yeah, very good. That one, you picked a loaded one. We're gonna have to. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna talk later about how like we say it's possible versus it's probable, but that's for later. So that was good. I'm glad you picked that one because then it'll be fresh in our heads. All right, Abigail.
Il est étonnant. It is amazing.
Yeah.
I say that like it's amazing that I haven't had 5 cups of coffee today yet.
Yes, exactly. That's perfect. That's a great example. So good job. You see how easy it is to use this. Okay, you know how easy it is to work it in a conversation. It will be easy to use it eventually. I find myself still really having to think really hard to use it conversationally. But the good news is you think back about a lot of most verbs. Most verbs are regular. So a lot of these you won't like you're gonna be talking about yourself. It doesn't even look that if it's an ER verb, it doesn't even look that different. And it's certainly not going to sound different. So it's not as jaunting as it may seem. But besides the blanket and all of those ending k, then those are the expressions that they use. Now, eventually, you'll have to be accountable to that because we'll learn some other phrases later on that indicate don't use the subjunctive. They still do the il blank que, but they don't want to use the subjunctive. But now is not the time. Life is good ish. So how you're going to work on that is you're going to do I kept going back and forth on, oh yeah, I remember now. You're going to do D. So D gives you the examples. It gives you one of those phrases. You're going to put k where the slash is. I picked this one because it gives you multiple subjects. So you're not just all, I had some other ones I liked, but I'm like, that's always like me or third person. So this gave you, it was good practice. And they went kind of easy on you with the verbs. If you need anything, of course, like if you're like, I'm not 100% on like sortir. I see that it's not a two-stem verb. So I might go on word reference and then check it. I haven't done this in a live meeting. Let's see if it doesn't kick me off. I'm going to screen share and show you where it is on word reference. All right. So word reference, sortir. You can go straight to conjugation. All right. And you have to go down a little bit. Okay, so notice, okay, good, it does it for you. Some websites, so it's like, it looks like partir, so here's partir. So you don't have to worry about that. You go down, and there you go, subjunctive. So you don't have to worry about it. And notice how they put in front of everything. And some people do that. So, all right. Oop. There we go. So A, B, and D. Any questions? Nope. Okay. So what I'll do is after this, I'll post the answers to chapter 16. You'll just check them. I mean, I'm giving you a grade, but that grade is like, oh, you did it, kind of like I always do. And then you'll see if you have any questions. Ask me any questions at the beginning, and we'll do this on Friday. Does that work for everyone? Huzzah. No, this is no fun. I really hope that it was just a one week, 2 week deal.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Holly, you want to tell us anything about Poland while we're here?
Poland's amazing.
Yeah.
Great food. I thought I was going to starve because of a Polish restaurant we had went to, but it was nothing like it. They're really nice people, surprisingly. You know, you think Europeans, they're all snobs, but they're not. Let's see. We almost got thrown out of a hotel.
It's great.
Yeah. When we came back though,
Oh,
we had to send the RAs a list of our stuff, and they put our stuff in boxes and wouldn't let us out of the dorms and left it sitting in the parking lot.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I saw you and I was like, dude, come pick the box up.
Like,
Yeah.
we did what we had to
Great,
do.
though. I would go back like right now.
That's awesome. Were they worried at all about is that even a concern right now for them?
It wasn't when we were there really, but Poland, they got like their first case while I was there, of course. But like they locked all the cities down and you basically weren't allowed to leave your little town.
Oh.
And luckily we had gotten to Krakow in time,
Yeah.
or else we'd have been stuck in the town.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was very stressful getting home, but we made it. We survived.
That's crazy.
Nobody got quarantined.
Yeah. That is crazy. Yeah, I actually had a student at the high school be like, "Did you know?" It was the craziest thing. She's like, "Did you know that there are some Milligan students who went to Poland and they had to pay their own way back home? Milligan wasn't going to pay for their way home." And I'm like, "No, that was not a
No.
thing."
Milligan actually told us, like, if you have to stay an extra day because we didn't know, they're like, we will pay for your hotel or whatever. If you have to get like a weird flight to say London, because Poland was on the list of Trump's ban.
Yeah.
That came in the middle of the night
Oh my
at
gosh.
like 2 a.m. for us. So that was great. But we were going to try to fly to like London because at that point the UK wasn't on there. And then fly home, but luckily we made it a day early, but Milligan was going to pay for it. So
Wow. Yeah, I thought that I was like, Milligan, they don't like bad press, and I don't think they would do that. So yeah. I thought she's told me stuff in the past, and I'm like, I don't think you caught every bit of that story exactly. So
yeah.
Well. Wow.
We made it.
Good.
All in one piece. None of us have the coronavirus yet, so
yeah.
Hooray! We did it.
Yeah. And then the other people were from Ohio.
Thanks, Nickens. Yes, we're from Ohio.
Yeah, it's on like kind of super lockdown, isn't it?
I'm not really sure what they're doing. I don't think any of those that went with us have any problems right now, but I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Tennessee's like 600 in some cases right now, or they did yesterday. I haven't checked today.
Yeah.
So.
That's
Crazy.
wild. It is. It is. I just found out yesterday that I'm out of school until the 24th. So.
Of April?
Yeah, they did that yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Why don't they just cancel the rest of the school? I mean, at that point.
I don't know. It would make my life easier because with the musical, it's just, oh my gosh, it's such a racket. I don't know what to do. Like I've postponed it, but I haven't.
Canceled it.
I don't have a date. I don't know what to do right now. So kind of sucks. But I don't want to. I mean, I'll postpone it either to late May, June, or even August if I have to, but then I have 2 seniors in the cast and they're boys, and it's hard to cast boys in musicals, so it's like, so I don't know. We're just gonna work like we can put it on. I don't know.
I think Virginia did go ahead and cancel for the rest of the school year. So.
Yeah, I saw that, and I don't know what North Carolina's done. What's Alabama done, Anne?
I have no idea. I know a lot of universities are going online. Most universities are online. I think the University of Alabama, the
Will try.
Huntsville campus is all online. So, but otherwise, I don't know. I have no idea. I
You're
should,
just-
yeah.
Are you familiar enough with where you are in Alabama?
Not really. So we're just staying in the house kind of all day, you know, not trying to leave anywhere. But we've also been getting really bad weather recently, so no one can leave anyways. We had a lot of tornado warnings yesterday.
Oh no. Yeah, I think about Cookville and how like in Nashville what all they went through.
Uh-huh.
And that was just back to back. So I mean, I
Yeah.
can't imagine.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy. Well, we'll get through this kind of together, I guess. But anyway. All right. Well, let me know if there are any problems. Thanks for you all who like commented early, so I knew how to do stuff. So I'm learning this one step at a time. So I will see à vendredi then. We'll
Yeah.
meet up same time Friday.
À vendredi.
Au revoir. Salut.
Vendredi.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. How do I? There we go.
I know I'm doing it too. Here we go.